Okay, so I don't even know where to begin with making this video. So I have been busting my ass for the last year at my own business, and it's my first time doing this. Well, actually, technically, it's not my first time doing it. I did several businesses prior that had little to no success. The one before this, the 3D printing was but this one is the one where I've been focused up, double down on everything, learning a ton of shit, and it's been a year already. I can't believe it's actually been pretty much a full year since I started, and shit's been getting crazy lately. It's getting wild. These last few days have been wild. So I just wanted to hop on here and kind of do not an I hate saying update videos. It's so cheese. Just a checkpoint video where it's this. I feel like now after this year is where shit's finally gonna start to fucking go in a good direction here, because oh my god, this fucking last year of my life has been so unbelievably many hurdles that I had to fucking figure out how to hop over and shit. And do I look athletic to you? No, I'm not. Okay, and I'm out here fucking jumping over all kinds of shit, making it work. But the reason why I made this today is because this last couple of days have been bucks. So basically, let me just say this here. So I spent the last year fully working for myself. It's the first time I haven't had a job where I'm working for someone else in my primary income. All my other businesses before were side hustles, I guess you could say, where it's not an actual, I'm not going fully at it, kind of hoping it works and, putting a little bit of time and effort into it. But this was I got no job every single day. This is all I'm fucking doing when I wake up till I go to sleep, every day. And it's I quickly learned you really don't get weekends off and shit. Sometimes I'll, have a day here or there. Everyone needs it. But for the most part, right from when I get up till I go to sleep, which often is until 3 or 4 in the morning. And it's been like that literally for a long time now. And on the weekends and shit. But anyway, so right now it's getting mad interesting because these past couple days, especially, like I said, have been pretty wild. So basically, what happened in these last couple days have been a long time coming. Today has been especially crazy. Tomorrow is going to be even crazier, but hear me out. So basically, yesterday, about a week ago, I got on the phone with some real estate agents. Oh, well, let me explain what my business is first before I get too far ahead of myself here. I started a short form social media content creation agency, I guess you could say. Trapline Digital, my business here. So a quick bit of history on me as well before I jump into what's going on now. I started making videos 20 years ago. I'm from northern Canada. I was born very far north with a very interesting history, I guess you could say. My family is not from a reserve technically, but it's a hamlet, very small place. I think now there's 1,000 people there. At one point, I think there was only 300 people there. I can't remember how many were there when we were there. I think it was about 3 or a couple hundred people. But originally, my parents were on a trap line, which is where I actually got the name Trapline Digital from. And a trap line is basically where you hunt and kill for your food. You live in a cabin. There's no running water. There's no power. There's no bathroom. There's an outhouse and shit like that. So I spent a very small portion of my life, and I was very young, living out there. And my sister, grew up out there much longer in life than I did. But luckily, when I came around, they got to the reserve or the hamlet. Then from there to the city, where I went to high school, and I actually got they moved to the city for me to get an education and stuff like that, because there's not very good schooling or anything like that up there. So anyways, from there, went to high school, blah, blah, blah. Graduated when I was 17. I moved to New Zealand for a year, came back, helped my mom move further south. Then I got accepted into Vancouver Film School in 2010. And I went there for 2 years. First year was for visual art and design. Second year was for film production, where I streamlined in cinematography and post-production. Now, once I was done that, I had to bounce out of Vancouver because my entire apartment building got infested with motherfucking bed bugs. I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. That shit was horrible. Actually, I wish it upon all my enemies. I'm lying. But anyways, it was trash. I ended up going back up north to where I'm from, working in the oil mines and shit, building ice roads and ice bridges, which is what my dad did. And he taught me how to do that, so I was working with him on some stuff like that. Get back to Vancouver, living there, just kind of bumming around, doing whatever jobs I can find. Nothing to do with film or video at all. Then I finally make my way down to Florida, and I've been down here for a while, right before the pandemic. Essentially, once I got all situated here with everything, and then it was like literally the end of 2019. By the time I got everything like set in stone and everything, and then 2020 hit, lost my job, and separated from the person I was with. Went through a hella rough patch. Those couple of years I don't really want to talk about up to this point because it was fucking shitty. A lot of stuff that I had to go through and everything. But anyways, which takes me to a year ago. Let's start there. So a year ago I started my business, and been growing it slowly. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but the one thing that I did realize when I started it was that I was running it the wrong way, because this isn't my first time trying to start a company to make videos. I tried in Vancouver years ago with absolutely no success. I did some wedding videos and shit, mostly editing, which oh my God, that was horrible. I did like a 3-hour wedding video. It was awful. But basically I realized when I got back, or when I started last year, that I failed at everything else because I was running my companies as like what I was, not as a businessman. So like when I was doing videos before, this is before short form, I'm talking like 2014 or something. This is like long form, like 10-minute videos, whatever length. I was just looking for anything. I was just a guy that knew how to make videos. I had no fucking idea how to run a business at all. Like, never did it, no experience. And my father, he's a very successful businessman. He's made himself a lot of fucking money in his life. And he did ice road construction, barging, all kinds of shit. 7-figure, 8-figure bank account. Maybe I don't know. He would never tell me. But anyways, so like once I got here last year, I figured, damn, I really have just been running it. I'm just a fucking guy that knows how to make videos trying to run a business. I don't have a business partner to run the business. I'm just running around, basically set up my company, make a website, do some social media accounts, and I'm just like sitting there like, why is no one hiring me? You know what I mean? I had no fucking like skills in that regard. So basically a few months prior to me starting my business, I started doing a bunch of research, reading hella books, as I have no business education, like no formal business education at all. And so I started reading actually audiobooks, because I came across a guy online who was a big inspiration to me. There's a lot of these people like this, but one that really stood out was Alex Hormozy. He posted very just easy to understand, like short business videos, and his book suggestions were banger. I started to listen to all the books that he suggested, and they helped me so fucking much. But that turning point for me was when I'm like, okay, I can't just be a video guy to do this. I have to know how to run a fucking business. So once I started teaching myself that shit, it started to help. And I thought I knew a lot when I started. I didn't know fucking anything, and I still don't know shit, because I'm still just making perpetual mistakes and like having to figure shit out, because it's fucking hard. And there's a lot of stuff you don't realize. Like, everyone says, oh, you gotta like, people say, oh, I want to run my own business, I want to be my own boss, make my own hours, blah blah. I'm like, bitch, I feel like I literally haven't had like a full day off in forever. And if I do take a day off, I feel guilty about it, because I'm like, oh, I got all this shit to do. I got videos to edit, I got this to do, that to do, I gotta find more clients, I gotta send emails, I gotta market, I gotta fucking sell, I gotta close deals, I gotta fucking do paperwork and all this nonsense. And so it became like a lot of stuff. Now I had to build the skill sets to help me actually run this business. Now, thankfully, in those couple of years there from 2020 to last year, which is 2023, I managed to get a sales job, which I'd never done before. It was phone sales, insurance sales over the phone. Never did it before. Turns out I'm fucking great at it, because I could talk literally forever. And I'm talking to people, slanging insurance left and right. I did pretty well. The agency kind of petered off, so I ended up losing that job too. But that sales job was one of the best fucking things that ever happened to me, because they did teach me how to sell. And that became a very, very fucking valuable asset to me now. Because even once I started my business, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm just going to sell myself the same way I sold all that insurance shit. It's just, instead of insurance, it's me and my services. So I just need packages or a way to, like a product. Like, what am I showing? What am I selling these people? So that it all came down to me starting like plans, like tiered plans, as I sell like monthly subscriptions. So like someone can sign up with me, pay X amount of money per month. I'll make them X amount of videos, monthly recurring, because people constantly need content. So that was sort of like my business model, is like a subscription service essentially. But so like this past year has been nuts, because I've had to like bust out the video skill sets, which I've been very good at for a long time, but in this last year I've gotten so much better and I'm so much faster. Like, I'm trained in cinema. I've been shooting videos, like I said, for 20 fucking years. This is not new to me, but it's almost like working out. It's like muscle memory. Like, once you get good and you're in it and you keep doing it, like if I take like a week or two off and I get back into it, I feel like I haven't done it in forever. It's weird, but I stay on top of my shit. I edit and shoot. I don't shoot every day, but I edit every day for sure. Anyways, so once I got back into the groove, or once I got into the groove of things here with the whole like, oh, now I got to sell. Now I got to, like, you know, get my business up on the go. I realized I had no portfolio of stuff down here that was like current. I ran a YouTube channel prior to that for some people that made them a lot of money, you know, 7 figures off of, you know, a single video made them 7 figures. And there's a couple other videos I had that just popped off and got them recurring clients, and they've made like lots of money off that shit. And I was getting a salary at that time, and I didn't realize like how chapped ass that deal was, because they were making all this money. If I would have just taken a percentage and took no salary, I would have made way more money off that one video than I would have off my salary in like 2 years. I didn't figure that out till way later, like triggered. I was, you know, in my 20s, like just, you know, younger, just not thinking, you know, didn't really not that I didn't care. It's just like, that's just not where I was in my life, I guess. And so now that I'm in my 30s, it's like, I need to make that bread, you know what I'm saying? So my focus and everything has changed a lot. But anyways, so back to the portfolio thing. Basically, yeah, I had no like portfolio, and I was like, well, what the hell? Like, I did all these TikToks and stuff prior that were going hella viral for fishing under my full-blown angler account. I don't know if any of you guys recognize me from that, but we had hella viral videos from that. We got all these brand deals and shit, like fucking sponsor, like even Danco, they hooked us up with all this fucking shit, and like all this clothes. Look, here's the OG full-blown angler shirt, like TikTok, let's go. So once I wanted to start my business, I was like, shit, all these videos that I've made that are short form aren't really applicable to a business, like unless I wanted to do fishing stuff or whatnot. So I was like, how am I going to build this portfolio? And that's one of the things that I learned from Mr. Alex Hormozi, which was based off of a book that he read that I also read. I believe it's where he got it from. It's called Influence by Robert Cialdini, I think is how his name's pronounced. But he talks about the rule of reciprocation, where, you know, you give somebody something for free, they feel obligated to give you something back eventually, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like the same reason why they give you, like servers will give you a mint. You know, when you tip, the tip's higher if they give you a mint. And in that book, they even say the tips go up by like 20% if you give them a mint, walk away, and then double back and give them like 2 more. Then your tips go up significantly. So like the whole rule of reciprocation is definitely real, and that's something that I dove heavily into when I started, because first of all, I needed a portfolio to sell somebody. So if I'm going to get somebody on the phone or in a text or an email, a DM, whatever, well, let me see your work. And the thing that's tough is I'm approaching a lot of different niches. I'm not just like, oh, I'm doing just car videos, or I'm doing just real estate, or just this. I can shoot anything, like literally anything. And so I was like, well, I got to start building a portfolio. So I started running around Fort Lauderdale, Florida here, doing free videos for people. I did one for LA Fitness, BMW, because they're big reputable brands. And I didn't think I was going to get a deal out of them for it. Those companies are so big, they have such huge marketing departments. I was like, I just want the video as an asset for myself to sell. But the BMW on Fort Lauderdale on Federal Highway, they fucking loved it. They shared it on their LinkedIn. Their TikTok account reached out to me and fucking shared it on their TikTok. They had like 800,000 followers at the time. They must have 1 million now, I'm assuming, but that was on TikTok. And yeah, so I started doing that all over the place. Eventually, over time, over a few months of doing this, I started to gain some traction, signed a couple small clients, getting a little bit of money rolling in. And keep in mind, when I fucking started this shit, and I don't condone or I don't suggest this at all. So when I started, I had nothing, like no money. Like, I mean, broke. Like, I literally had $600 to my name. I had my iPhone, this iPhone 12 Pro Max. Look at how fucked up it is. It's all burnt and melted and shit from videos I was shooting. I dropped on the water too, and I was doing fishing videos like 10 times. So I had $600, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and fucking this right here. Not the stand, but this GoPro, which was like a couple $100. So that's literally all I had to get started. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have nothing. So I've shot and edited every single video for this past year and actually a few years prior, all on mobile and with the GoPro. Now I have other cameras. I got a new phone. I got a laptop and shit like that now. But basically, I did all this with just that starting. And I don't condone that because holy shit, did it make it so much harder on myself. Because, like, unfortunately, post-pandemic, I fucked my credit up, fixed it, and then fucked it up again when I lost my insurance job. So I'm not qualified to even get like a credit card or a bank loan or nothing. Like that's it. And like all I have is the money coming in. Like I don't have anything to fucking rely on for like extra income. I don't own a house that I can rent rooms out of. I'm renting this room in a house. Like I don't own fucking nothing. And even my vehicle at the time, which is like a 2-door truck, a single cab, doesn't even qualify for fucking Uber because you need a 4-door. So I couldn't even like drive for Uber even if I wanted to and shit. And so, and with that too, even my truck late last year, I reached a point where I was like, shit, like I lost a couple clients and I actually had to move from where I was living before to here. And my rent got more expensive here because I had to move. And I had to just kind of pick like, what am I going to pay for here? Like rent or what? So I had to axe the truck. Unfortunately, so I haven't had a vehicle in like 10 months. It's fucking sucks. I have the truck, but I had to like park it. I couldn't afford fucking gas and insurance, and it was, which isn't a lot for a lot of people, but for me, then even now, it's still a little. I can get it back, but like when I did the math on it, which is one of the things I got to do is fucking math all the goddamn time. I was like, look, if I have to define like where I need to go or I want to go. Like where I need to go is what's more important. I want to go do all this I want to go drive down the beach. I want to go for a drive. I don't need to do that shit. Where do I need to go? So I figured, okay, I got to go here for this shoot, here for that shoot, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, honestly, if I were to take Ubers for all that, it's way less than my truck insurance was. And I was like, I'll just fucking bite the bullet and do that for now until I get it back. Because this is when I lost a couple clients and didn't, I was just like, it's just temporary. Now it's fucking 10 months, almost a year later, and I still don't have my whip back. But it's funny because I went from being on foot, like I walked around doing free videos on foot. Like I just leave the house with my backpack on and walk to the businesses that was closest to me. Because that's really all because I couldn't justify Ubers for free videos. I was like, I can't lose money on these. I got to at least do it for free for me and them. So I was walking. Then I finally, made a little bit of bread and got a mountain bike. So I started mountain biking because I hit up all the businesses within walking distance, and then mountain bike and go a little bit further. Then I got upgraded from that to the fucking electric scooter, which is the shit, by the way. That thing is so much fucking fun, but down here it is so unbelievably fucking dangerous. I almost die on that thing like every day. Like some evil wench on Powerline Road literally just on her phone paying zero attention, swerving right into the bike lane, like coming right at me, and I'm like, I just fucking dip onto the goddamn sidewalk, yank the scooter out of the way. She saw me after the fact and like swerved back into traffic, and like everyone's honking their horn at her. She's so fucking dumb. But yeah, so that was almost the end of the story. Right there would have been me getting bopped by a fucking car on my scoot. But and I'm still cruising that thing around. I live very close to where a lot of my work is, so I can honestly get there anywhere I really need to go on that thing still. But I'm gonna be getting the truck back here soon, which is gonna be so nice. But anyways, actually, a little quick side story too. When I was doing the free videos and I was walking, I did one for a place called Broward Motorsports. They're pretty close to here. They're on Sunrise and 95. And I walked there and fucking, oh my God, walking and mountain biking were the worst because it's Florida. It's hot as fuck here. So whenever I go anywhere, these places that I'm walking or riding a bike, I have to bring a whole separate change of clothes with me that I actually want to wear inside when I meet these people. Because by the time I get there, like I'm a big dude. Like I'm 6'5" and fucking 295 pounds right now. And I get to be fucking sweaty, just covered in sweat. So I have to bring a towel, a full change of clothes, and fucking my drone, all my camera shit, all in my bag. So I'd get to this spot, right? I walk over there, get to the spot. I go under the overpass, take my fucking clothes off, take a towel, dry my whole body off, take my hair product out, style my hair under the bridge like a fucking troll, put all my clothes back on, and or my nice new clothes, and then I filmed the exterior of the building, and then I fucking went inside, talked to the ladies at the front desk, and they're like, I gotta talk to the salesman, right? And this fucking Broward Motorsports is huge. It's the biggest showroom in all of Florida for motorsport shit. So they got like hundreds of like dirt bikes, fucking ATVs, boats, like all this shit is all up in that bitch. So I go in there, talk to the salesman. There's 5 of these fucking goons in the back there in their sales desk. And these are just a bunch of like fucking Florida dudes that like grew up in the Everglades riding ATVs and shit, and now just fucking slang it out of like the biggest showroom down here, and they're fucking dope. But I remember I went back there, and then I went up to them. I was like, "Yeah, I'm here to shoot you guys a free video," and they were kind of like, "Fucking try, you're trash and you're ugly." No, they didn't say that at all. But you know, when you approach somebody with a free video, especially when you just walk in, like I don't text, I don't call, I just show up. Like you're getting it whether you want it or not. I'm sorry. But I go in there and they're like, all right. And I was like, I'll have it done before you guys close. It was like 2:30 and they closed at like 5 or something. So I went in there, fucking shot my ass off, cut it on mobile in their store, walking around doing laps, cutting, shooting, editing, pop off some fucking dope 360 shit, throw it all in there. And then I airdrop it over to my iPad because I realized that it's better off to show people like on an iPad, nice bigger screen than your phone. You're like, look at my phone, look at my video I made for you. It's like, shut up. Like just use the iPad, which is way more clutch. Shout out to Travis because he let me use his. It wasn't even my fucking iPad. Yeah, and so I show them the video and I just see all their face because like, you know, when I show them, I literally am just like, I face the iPad to them and they're all watching and I watch their reactions, which is what I love. Like when I was younger, that's everything to me was when I'd show somebody a video, I'd look at how they reacted to it. I'm not watching it with them. I've seen it a fucking billion times. I just spent forever cutting it, right? So watching their reactions, they're like, oh, holy fuck. They're like, this is way better than the dude we have now. This is sick. And they made some kind of comment about how, you know, they never get sold because they're salesmen. And one guy's like, yeah, you just sold all 5 of us. And that, like, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, well, that's because I'm the fucking shit. Shut up. But yeah, they were super nice. And they actually hit me up about maybe going to the Glades with them one day to go fucking shitbagging on a bunch of ATVs as they own all this dope shit. So I might have to cash in on that one day. But anyways, so that's just one of like the billion fucking stories I have from this past year of doing this shit. And anyways, so cranking free videos left and right, building connections and relationships, which is fucking everything as well, by the way, because I'm not from down here. I don't know anybody like that, you know, and you know, word of mouth has been a big fucking thing for me. Like I do a banger video for someone, even if it's free and they don't have work for me, they tell somebody else like, oh, this guy fucking killed it. He did it for free. He'll do the first one free for you. And the next thing I'm over there and they hired me, even if it's just like a one-off thing or whatever. So the free videos were so clutch. It's just, it's taken like a year. Like, and I did so many and so many just took it, didn't even fucking say thanks or anything. Sometimes they'll take the video and they'll just fucking block me or ghost because they just don't want to follow up with like actually having to pay for something down the road, because the whole incentive for me to do the free video was to you potentially become a client down the line, you know. Obviously there's no like hella obligations by it, but you know, that was kind of the idea. And I go into all of these things telling them that, you know, this is to help promote my business. I would love to work with you guys, blah, blah, blah. So I've experienced fucking all this stuff, and even like getting to like going through deals where I'm talking to people, and I was doing this deal with this company where they're based out of Miami. The guys are from New York, and I get on a Zoom call from New York, and we agreed upon a price, which was a good price for me. I was stoked, and then do the free video, and they fucking send me to Miami. I go to Miami, I shoot this video, and blah, 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 and we're talking for weeks, and then comes to fucking brass taxi, and they're supposed to start paying, and they're like, oh, no, you know, we're going to pay you this much instead for these kind of videos, and you have to like buy the product as well with that money we're giving you. We're talking like an 80, I think it was like 86% decrease of the agreed upon price, which after all that work, I was so triggered. I was like, I can't believe I just spent so much time doing this, working on you guys, and then you guys are just like, nah, you know. So I did that for like a month, and I was like, it was just too little money for how much they wanted, and I was like, I'm out. But anyways, so all that shit's been going down, right, for the last like year. And now these past couple days have been buck wild. And the start of this year has been tough. So I lost 2 of my highest paying clients in December. Both, it was 8 days apart. One was 4 days before Christmas. One of them fucking stiffed me too for that month's pay. So it was like a stack, like $1,000 that, and he had everything. Like I delivered it like a fucking idiot. And you know, he's like, oh, well, I'll pay you in a couple months, blah, blah, blah. And I never heard a word from the guy again. So I got stiff there, so that was tough, which is why I'm learning contracts are fucking important. But anyways, so start of this year's been tough, and I've been doing free videos for these past couple of months, and I've been just fucking like, not having any luck, and I haven't even been able to recoup the monthly recurring that I had lost in those 2 clients in December, which has been fucking ragged. And like, anyways, so there's also a company that I did some free videos for last year in like June or July, I think. So it's been, let's see, July, August. Holy fuck. That's like 9 months ago already. Wow. So I've been working on this deal for 9 months. There are literally human beings that are being born right now to the same age as the amount of time I've put into working on this fucking deal. So, but yeah, so let's get back to like now. Like, why am I making this video now? So after all these ups and downs, all this fucking shit I've been dealing with left and right, getting stepped on and highs and lows to lower to low to high, like to just all this shit. This week has been bananas. So let's start with like yesterday, I guess. Well, a week ago, I got on the phone with a real estate company here locally in Wilton Manors. They wanted a video. All right, talk about some price. So I come in for a meeting, which ended up being yesterday. And so I went for the meeting, closed the deal, got a deposit. Fuck yeah. And it turns out they want more recurring deals or more recurring videos as well. I thought it was just a one-off thing, but they're going to have listings eventually, or well, they have listings now, but they're going to want listing videos eventually and stuff. So I'm going to be doing some of that for them as well. But then today, like literally today, like fucking like 2 fucking hours ago, I get an email from that company who is actually a word of mouth reference of another one of my clients. I don't want to like to say names right now about who I'm working with and or for, because it just, I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm transparent with everything in my life on the internet. I always have been, but now that I'm running a business, I kind of got to move a bit differently. But anyways, to say the least, this is a big fucking company. Like, they're one of the biggest companies in their industry, and everyone knows this brand. It's a very, very recognizable, reputable brand. So that's who I've been working on this deal on since last June or July or 9 months ago or whatever. So they sent me some product, did a couple free videos for them, and then it's been kind of like here and there, like talking and just they have it's a big corporate company too, right? Like I've never dealt with like a corporation like that or corporate structure or any of that shit, and all that stuff just takes forever, I guess, because most of the businesses I've been working with are pretty small in the grand scheme of like business, I guess, when you think about the size of companies and how fucking big they can get. Most of it's pretty local. But so that fucking deal after 9 months closed like fucking 2 or 3 hours ago. Contract fucking signed. They fucking sent it to me and it was signed, and I was like, oh my fucking god, the only last piece of that motherfucking puzzle after all this time is my signature. I was like, bruv. I was like, shaking. I was like, where's my pen? I'm like, oh my god, it's an e-signature. I don't need a pen. Let's go. 2024 and 2024. Let's go. So that shit went down today. And so that's buck, right? I'm fucking ecstatic. It's my biggest deal to date. And there's opportunity to make much more money at this company than other deals I've done before, because most deals were just cut and dry. Like, that's the deal. That's all you get. Maybe if something crazy happens, if we make a shitload of money off of what you're doing, we could talk. But most of the time, it's mostly like advertising for their business or their face. It's not like selling a product, which is what I'm more about. Like, I've had videos go viral so many times where, you can monetize off of just pure sales. I used to run a 3D printing business for myself last year. I didn't make a ton of money at it, but I learned quickly how you get a video to pop and you have a link there and people can buy that shit. Holy fuck. It's crazy. Like when it pops. Anyway, so that deal closed today and I could not be happier about it. Now, tomorrow, I'm actually catching a fucking flight to go to Las motherfucking Vegas on an all expenses paid fucking trip to go shoot some behind the scenes videos and also run a camera for a live broadcast for something called NAB, which is like a giant conference there. Now, this is a rare opportunity for me. I've never been paid to travel, especially for my own business, of course. No, I don't even have a fucking vehicle. Never mind getting on a plane. So I literally leave tomorrow. I leave in a matter of hours here. It's going to be, I leave at I leave in 11 and a half hours is when that flight leaves the tarmac with me on it. So it's going to be nuts. I'm there for 5 days, got a hotel room, fucking flights paid, all that's paid. And it's just weird to me how this shit happened like these last 3 days. Like I hadn't closed a deal in a minute. It's been a little too long since I closed a deal recently. And then I closed the real estate one. Then I closed the fucking big ass one the next day. And then I'm off to Vegas the next day. I'm like, what the fuck? The trifecta. Like, that's bananas, because I knew Vegas was coming. And actually that whole gig with Vegas came from one of my other clients. That wasn't really word of mouth, but the location I was at shooting for him, there was another person there that had a very successful business that saw me shooting and saw the videos I was making for that dude and was like, yo, this guy's on his shit. He knows what he's doing. So he saw me and engaged in a conversation with me, and that's how this all came into fruition. Now, I might say more about this one day, because I know it's kind of lame to not say names or companies or whatever. I just don't know. I haven't exclusively talked to them individually on whether or not I can talk to them or about them on the internet setting, so it's definitely a bit different. But I'm just literally floored that this is even happening. I can't believe it's happening. I fucking real estate deal, giant fucking company deal, and then Vegas tomorrow. It's going to be nuts. And I'm there, like I said, for 5 days until Wednesday, and then I come back and I have a real estate listing to shoot the day after. Then I have to go shoot from one of my main clients the day after that on Friday. Then I have to shoot for him again on Saturday at another location, which is fucking sick. It's sick. I can't talk about it. It's sick though. And it's definitely a very exclusive invite only fucking type of gig. And then the following week I got to shoot the real estate video for the real estate agents. And then I got a shitload of products that are going to be sent to me here. And then I got to shoot them all before the end of the month for the big deal I just closed today. And then there's also another shop around here that's a local small business that hit me up yesterday. I forgot to mention this. They hit me up. I did videos for them for a package for 2 months or something, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And they wanted it enough for that many videos. And then, I talked about recurring or whatever. And they're like, nah. We just want enough for a couple months and we'll just keep reposting or some shit. I was like, all right, whatever. And yeah, so they called me up yesterday and they're like, yeah, dude, the videos are fucking dope. Everyone loves that shit and it's working and we're getting more customers in our door because of that shit and we want more. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go. So I'm going to be doing more of that too, all in the same week. So it's been pretty fucking wild for me these past couple days. So I kind of wanted to just hop on here and talk about it because I just feel like this is I feel like this might be a turning point. There was a time at the end of last year where I thought, oh shit, this could be it. But it was right around Christmas and that was all coming up. And I was like, well, let me just see, Christmas season, how that pans out. And then boom, one client bounces, boom, another client bounces right before Christmas. And I was like, oh, you ruined my Christmas. How dare you? The audacity. Imagine getting stitched before Christmas, bro. Literally the Grinch, dude. Literally the Grinch. But yeah, so it's been pretty buck. And yeah, so I don't even know. I'm kind of speechless about it, to be honest. It still hasn't even all kind of hit me yet. Like I said, that contract just happened and Vegas is happening in a few hours. So anyways, I just wanted to hop on here. I do plan on doing more videos like this for sure. I do want to start up another podcast. I did a podcast a few years ago with my homie Shane, but we did it over video call. I don't know if I'm going to do podcast per se, but I will do videos like this where I'm talking to camera and, in this, I don't know if I'll use this setup or I might go mobile because I got some dope motherfucking clients, man. My client list is sick and they're all baddies too. It's just a fact. I'm just saying they're baddies. Fucking all of them. I'm telling you. So it's it'd be really cool to interview them and just talk to them. I want to ask them more about their business. I know a fair bit about their businesses from the social media and video standpoint, but just to ask them, hey, how'd you start this? Like, there's this one guy who, who's taking me to Vegas, and he is fucking successful. Like, god damn, he makes money, and he does a good ass job at what he does. And like the conversations I've had with him about what he's managed to accomplish and with some of the companies that he works for, I'm like, what? Like, floored. Like, big fucking companies, like, like Sony, for example. I'll just say that, like, that's one of, like, big business. So I'm like, I want to, like, ask him a million questions about this shit, but he's so busy doing all of his shit, I don't want to bother him. But like, maybe if it was a setting like this, I could get like almost like an interview or something and have questions answered and stuff like that. So I'll look more into that, but I definitely want to do more videos like this here soon. But I just wanted to pop this one off because I wanted to kind of just get this out there, because I feel like shit's about to change, and I really hope it does, because this year has been so fucking hard. Like, the amount of nights I've been up all night, just like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The amount of nights I've been up there, literally with fucking tears coming out of my eyes, being like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm like fucked. Like, I'm like, there was situations like, I'm fucked. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, when I lost the vehicle, I gotta go here, I gotta do this, and like, fucking, like, just shit. Like, oh my god, even this, when this happened, like, if you see this phone, how it's literally melted. Like, that's from fire, like, all those spots, and it's on the lenses. And that happened like around fucking Halloween. And this is when I started this company too, this was a 3-year-old iPhone when I started. Now it's a 4-year-old iPhone. So with the camera quality is ass compared to the new ones. It's a 12 Pro Max. Now the 15's out. I remember that shit got melted, and I was just like, and the lens, it was on the lenses. You can clearly see it in the footage whenever I record anything. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck am I gonna do? I literally can't afford a new phone. I can't even get the financing to get approved for a fucking phone. I tried everywhere, and no one would fucking give it to me. And even if that was the case, you still need a down payment, which I didn't fucking have. And that same shit with this thing. When I was doing with this fucking GoPro, this is actually a replacement one. Thank fucking God I was smart enough to get the insurance on that when I did, before I went hella broke. But I remember I was shooting the BMW video, and I was on the roof of their fucking parkade, and I was filming. I had that camera on a tripod, and I was filming the BMW XM, which just came out, which is so fucking dope. But I was filming it with the drone. So I'm flying the drone around like the roof while it's driving on the top of the parkade. And it was so windy because that parkade's pretty high and there's no tall buildings around it. So you can see the beach and shit. And I remember I'm standing there flying the drone. I look over and I see my tripod, my GoPro, just fucking in the wind, just. And all I hear is the lens just shatter. And I was like, no! Fuck. I was like, I didn't freak out. Kept my composure because the guy in the BMW dealership was there driving the car. I couldn't lose my shit. But I remember my heart just sank. I was like, oh my fucking God. I was like, I'm so fucked if that camera's broken. I went and picked it up. Lens is completely shattered. There's glass inside the camera, like on the sensor. I'm like, this camera's done. Like, fucking choked. And then I remember going home, and it was just like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm so fucked. I got no money, I got no credit cards, no. I'm so fucked. And I was just tripping. And then I remember it's like, oh my God, I think I got insurance on this. And by the fucking grace of God, I had like 6 days left on my insurance on that camera through GoPro. And I was like, oh my God. So I literally fucking got on the computer, filled out the form. They sent me a box. I got there with like 3 days left of the shit, and I shipped it off, and they fucking replaced it. Even all that shit, like the shit that's happened to me in this past year, I swear to God, it's like I must have like a fucking guardian angel or something, because there's so much stuff that just worked out, like for some ungodly fucking reason that I can never explain, like shit like that. Like, I didn't even consider the insurance, as I had the camera for like 2 years, and the insurance comes like 2 years at a time. When I bought it, I just clicked it when I was checking out, like whatever. Didn't like, wasn't like, oh, I need the insurance, blah, blah, blah. And I actually only bought the insurance because it came with the cloud storage. So when you plug the GoPro in, it shoots all your footage up to the cloud. That's why I bought it, was for the backup. And I didn't remember the insurance till like right before it was about to expire. So it's just all that kind of shit. And like, there's just other things too that have happened. I'm sure I'll think of them eventually, where it's just like, wow, I can't believe I just skidded by the skin on my teeth somehow with whatever reason. But all that shit's just been like adding up, and yeah, now I'm here. And yeah, I couldn't be fucking more grateful for anybody that's given me a chance. All the business owners around here that either hired me, have paid me, or are still paying me, or have even let me just shoot at your location to do a free video for the sake of me getting the asset out of it to further sell myself. All that shit has helped. Like even, for example, SoFlo Customs. I made them a fucking banger earlier this year. That shit was good. That was one of my best videos this year, I think. But that one got hella attention. I posted that on some Facebook groups because one of my clients told me to, throw it in a couple Facebook groups. I put it in there. My phone went fucking apeshit. So if you're out there and you're looking for some work and you don't know what you're doing, throw a couple of your fucking samples in some Facebook groups in a local area and that shit'll pop. I can't guarantee it'll pop. My shit was banging. So it got some attention. It popped, but I remember I got like 20 or 30 leads out of it, and my fucking phone was just going crazy for like a fucking like 2 weeks. I was like, all right, so that's good to know. So I'll be definitely doing more of that. But anyways, just shit like that, and all this advice that was given from so many people, and there's a lot of people that I would love to thank specifically, but I can't name or maybe I can name names. I don't know. I never asked them explicitly for permission, like I said, so I'm not going to say, but they know who they are. So thank you all so much. I fucking love you guys. Like, geez, I would literally be nowhere without you. And I'm not quite where I want to be quite yet. I'm not going to lie and say everything's fucking peachy and I'm making all this money and everything's, Gucci gang, because it's not. But I'm starting to get to the point now where it's like I'm fucking good and level and starting to go more in like a profitable direction, which is going to be fucking great because, my God, what a year. Like I said, just fucking shit after shit after shit and problems and solutions and highs and lows and emotions and stuff. I'm quite emotional myself, if you can't tell. So but yeah, so I guess I'll just end this right here. This has actually been really good. It's almost like fucking therapy or something. I'm like expressing my feelings to something besides my Instagram story. But anyways, yeah, so if you don't know who I am, my name's Eddie, and I run Trapline Digital. I'm down here in South Florida in Wilton Manors. You can catch me online, and yeah, I guess I'll see y'all in the next video. I'll do another recording here probably. Actually, maybe I'll even bring this shit and do it in Vegas. Like, why not? But if not, you can definitely catch me on my story. I'll be posting stuff on there at content_cowboy on IG. But until the next one, thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you all so much to everyone that's helped me. I appreciate every last one of you. Thank you all so fucking much. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.